Hi, this is Matthew Hirvela, EDCI 570, and this is my reflection on the project I worked on this semester. My project was to have my students in groups create a public service announcement video on a topic of their choice. And one of the main drivers for creating this project was to help move them towards some of the ISTE standards for students, particularly becoming empowered learners, digital citizens, creative communicators, and digital collaborators. In broad strokes, what this project was for them to learn what a PSA is, to see some of the historically famous PSAs through time, and to learn the technology they need to create a professional looking video, from camera work to sound to lighting, using a green screen, and also video editing. The students were given the choice to select the topic, and they also needed to know that their PSA, when they were done, was going to be published and made available to a larger audience. The legal and policy considerations that had to be in my mind, and anytime we're using technology and connecting students through the internet, is to make sure that we keep them private and safe. We don't want their private information being put out there, and we certainly don't want to open them up to any attacks online. The software that my district uses, including our LMS Schoology and our gateway software called Clever, both adhere to SIPA, COPPA, and FERPA rules to keep students safe online. I can't watch them 24/7. If a student goes online on their own outside of Schoology and Clever, there's only so much I can do in a remote learning environment. But certainly I keep that in mind and set them up for safety. I believe a constructivist pedagogy lends itself well to this kind of project. Constructivism says that students learn and retain information better when they learn it in context, when they are creating some of the knowledge themselves, not merely listening or hearing or seeing information, but actually constructing it and making it their own. This requires teachers to give up some control of the learning process. And for a lot of us, that's a difficult step. But the more we are able to do that, the more we allow our students to take agency and ownership over their learning, and the better they're going to retain it. Some of the biggest obstacles to success that I had during this project were technical issues. We're in a remote environment. Not every student has a solid, high-speed internet connection at home. That is a problem for several of my students. Some of them lack a good device. Most of them do have a Chromebook at least, but some students have difficulty with that and are forced to use their phone. That leads to some difficulties. And also, downloading some software that was necessary for this project led to some problems. Either they didn't have disk drive space, or the download was not possible because of their internet connection. We're still working to get those students the editing software they need. Just one of those problems that come up in the process. Gates Foundation found out that only about 28% of teachers are actually seeking out data and using it to inform and reform the way they're teaching and the way they're teaching their lessons. I count myself in that 28%, and I certainly am evangelizing to try and get as many of my coworkers on board. The more data we have, the more we use it to customize and improve our instruction, the better the results will be with our students. For this project, the data collection is ongoing. I have observational data based on the feedback I'm getting from students as we work through the project. The anecdotal feedback has been good. They're excited about the project. They're enjoying it, but we're still working that out. And certainly the end of project reflections and questionnaires that I give them through Google Forms will give me some more hard data to use. Once again, I'm Matthew Hirvela, EDCI 570. This is my project reflection, and I thank you for your time. Here are the resources I used in the making of this project.